What is going on, friends, and welcome into my interview with UFC fighter Mickey Gall. You can catch him this Saturday, December 17th, UFC Fight Night, Golden One Center in Sacramento, California, live on Fox as he takes on Sage Northcutt. That's on Fox at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Prelims air live on Fox at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. And Mickey will join us in just one moment. You can follow us everywhere in the universe. We're on Twitter at mmercado2333. Follow us on Instagram at Instagram/MikeMercado2333. Do us a huge favor. Subscribe to us on YouTube /MikeMercado2333. You can see all our past interviews that we've done with other UFC and MMA fighters. We have the Outreach page on Facebook at Outreach Radio Chicago, so please like us there. And check out the website, mercadoairwaves.wordpress.com. And here's our interview with Mickey Gall. Last time we had you on, you were getting ready to kick some ass in the Punk fight. How you feeling since?
I feel great, man. Just been training my butt off.
No, it's crazy. I was looking at this. This is going to be your third fight this year. Physically, for a fighter, is there like a cap? Is there a number? Because, in all these other sports, they have their regiments and whatnot. For a fighter, I've always been interested in that. How many fights do you think typically a body can handle?
That's a great question, man. You see, guys, it depends on the guy, and it depends on the guy, the fight, and the camp. If you do all those smart, and if all those go, well, some of those things you can't control, but you probably 5. You see, Cowboy Cerrone does 5, but I think three is like a good number.
It's funny, you're on this crazy, trajectory, man. Like 25 years old, kicking ass. 24 years old, I think. Actually, my bad. Your birthday's coming up in a few weeks, and man,
yes,
let's talk about this, man. You have a legit shot within 2017 and 2018, man, to really be a contender for a UFC title fight. If everything goes well, you keep focus. Tell me about that, man. I know it's always been a dream of yours to be on this type of level. That reality is kind of there. It's still in a distance, but it's attainable. How does that feel?
It feels great, man. It's a nice thing to start accomplishing and being on your way towards your goals and your bigger goals. I'm still a little young in the tooth. 3 professional fights, but I know on any given day I can beat anybody in the world. Doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter what weight class. I know on any day I got a good shot against anybody. I'm sure I don't think I'm near a title this year or even next year, depending on how many fights. I'd have to get a lot of fights, but I'm happy, and I'm gonna definitely stay focused because this means a lot to me.
And I think it's really cool, man. Like, I'm 26 years old, and in this profession, there's a lot of guys who like to stay put in their comfortable positions, and you got to continuously...
You're a young gun in the game, too.
And that's why I'm so excited to see where you're going in your career, because you have to scratch and crawl every single time you're on television, whenever you're on pay-per-view. You had this fight with Punk, and you seized the moment. Now you have this fight coming up on the 17th, and it's another young up-and-coming dude who's scratching and crawling too, who's got a lot of hype behind him. How's that feeling?
It's good, man. This gets me a lot more excited than my last fight.
Sure.
My last fight was a great opportunity to make my name, but this is what this is what I live for. I'm fighting a real fighter. A guy who people are saying is going to kick my ass. The other half is saying I'm going to beat him. But it's pretty split, 50-50, and that's nice. CM Punk, it was like everyone pretty much, or should have at least known that I was going to whoop him.
Right.
But this one, you don't know. This is a real fight, so I'm going to have to go in there and I'm going to have to push through things. I'm going to have to, it's a beautiful thing going out there and, having to learn about myself and go hard and, just leave it all out there.
So how's the mentality changed then from the camp you had back then? When we were talking, we were both talking a little bit more about the mentality, the confidence, just make sure you stuck to the game plan. You didn't let a fluke type of thing happen. But in this situation, what's it like now heading into, what's going to be a real awesome battle?
That's a great question, and it's actually something there's been changes, and I haven't really touched on it with anyone. So for my last camp, I needed to train very smart and very safe. I knew I was training my butt off. I was doing 2 days, 5 times a week, but I was doing less high impact stuff. because I was like, look, the only way this guy has a shot, last guy has a shot against me, is if I mess myself up. But this guy, I needed to. I've been sparring. I've been sparring more. I've been doing with high level karate black belts. I was sparring with this guy Stephen Regman, and we've been going in there and banging. We've been throwing shots. I've been having people throwing head kicks at me. We've been going for it. So this has been like sparring wise a more intense camp. It's different. Just so I'm used to seeing that karate look. That's gonna be no surprise out there.
The idea of like as you get older in the sport, as you get older as a fighter, more wiser, that the training camp, that the fight is won just as much in there, and that you had to adapt to it, just like any other sport where the game plan has to change.
Well, I guess for this camp, more sparring, just because that I needed to see more of that look. I don't see a karate style all the time in practice. So for my next camp, I probably won't spar quite as much, just because I need to, you don't want to leave a fight in the gym, and I did the perfect amount for this one, just enough sparring in the gym, so that I'm going to just be laser beam sharp. But yeah, so sometimes like guys like Cowboy Cerrone said he doesn't really spar anymore, and it's a good way to kind of preserve yourself.
For the youngsters listening to this, that's an actual really cool point from a guy up and coming who's kicking so much ass. Can you elaborate a little bit about that? Don't leave the fight in the gym. Is that the term?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of MMA fighters, people say, will waste their career. A lot of boxers too. The reason guys who have like this brain damage and stuff like that isn't necessarily because of what happens in the fights. It's because people don't see that we're doing this stuff 2 times a day, 5-6 days a week. We're training for the 15 minutes that people see us. There's a lot of great fighters in the gym that just don't get their shot or get their shine. So yeah, you definitely don't want to leave the fight in the gym. You want to be sharp that night. You want to be sharp fight night. You want to all peak for that. And I have to say, for this fight, I did a better job of peaking also. I think I peaked about 3 weeks early for the CM Punk fight. This fight, I'm peaking this week and Saturday.
What's the game plan? What's the feel going into this fight?
I'm going to hit him. I'm going to bring some heat to him. I'm going to crack his head. I want to make him bleed. And I know I'm levels above him on the ground. I'd like to get the knockout, but I'm gonna look for that knockout. And if not, I'll gladly. I'd say smart money, second round submission, second round choke. But I'd like to see a first round knockout.
Who was your favorite guy in the sport when you were growing up?
I have a couple answers for that.
Go for it.
First 2 guys I was big fans of is Jim and Dan Miller. They're tough. I'm like, wow, look at these tough Jersey dudes just going at it. I'm from New Jersey.
Yeah.
And then I've had the opportunity to train with them for the past 5-6 years, which has been awesome. I was a big Chuck Liddell fan.
Yes.
And it's a few guys. I like Matt Serra when I first started really following it. Because when I started, he was the champ, and he's the East Coast. He's a guy, New York. So I liked him too. Good grades in jiu-jitsu.
Your birthday's coming up. We got the holidays up. Tell me, this time of year, man, what do you like to do?
Well, I'm cutting weight right now, so eating and drinking sounds nice.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I bet.
But actually, it's not that bad. It's not too bad. It's funny though when you're cutting weight, you have the weirdest cravings. I'm a very healthy eater. I'm very disciplined. But right now, all I want is pancakes and I haven't eaten McDonald's in over 10 years, and I want those crappy McDonald's. I want pancakes and syrup. It's bagels. All this stuff I don't always eat, but sounds so good right now.
I bet. So after you win this weekend, man, what you got to go do is go to IHOP or one of those places you got up in Jersey and get yourself a nice big hefty breakfast, and then afterwards go to McDonald's and have one of those terrible burgers, and then I have another one for 20 years.
I think it'll be out of my system by then. Gosh, I hope.
Good health, brother. Good luck this weekend, man, and I can't wait to talk to you in 2017.
Heck yeah, buddy. My pleasure. Love talking to you.
One last huge thank you to Mickey. You can catch his fight against Sage Northcutt this Saturday, December 17th. It's UFC Fight Night at the Golden One Center in Sacramento, California. The main card starts on Fox at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. The prelims air live on Fox at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Thank you, Mickey. Thank you all for listening. You can follow us everywhere in the universe. We're on Twitter at mmercado2333. like the radio show page on Facebook at Outreach Radio Chicago. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Instagram/MikeMercado2333. Do us a huge favor, subscribe to us on YouTube /MikeMercado2333. And you can check out some of the other interviews that we've done with UFC and MMA stars. And check out the website, mercadoairwaves.wordpress.com. Good luck to Mickey. Thank you all for listening, and we will see you next time.